Have you heard that popular song, I Wanna Be a Billionaire, right? It sounds like a really big number. At one point in my life, I couldn't even fathom how big a billion was. In fact, I even had a hard time wrapping my mind around a million, which has since become a really small number. And first, I even had to figure out how to make $100,000 tangible, and before that, $10,000 tangible. Today, we're gonna talk about the mindset of the wealthy, right? Whether you wanna be a millionaire, a billionaire, a trillionaire, we're gonna break it all down for you right now on how to think to make that happen. All right, so today we're talking about how to become a billionaire. Now, what's so perfect about this is I gotta tell you up front, I am not a billionaire, but I do believe that it's an inevitability for me to get there in time. And I wanna share with you what I've consciously been doing since January 15th, 2009 to move towards that. So while I'm not a billionaire yet, I can tell you that I have made extraordinary leaps and bounds and processes and progress by doing 4 specific things. So that's what I'm gonna be sharing with you today. So whether you wanna be a millionaire, a billionaire, a trillionaire, I believe that the process is gonna be very similar, because while I'm not a billionaire, I've used this process to become a millionaire, and I've used it to become a multi-millionaire, and I believe it's gonna keep on growing for me. So here are the 4 steps. Number 1, you gotta make the decision first. This is probably one of the scariest steps, is deciding to achieve something that is big, that's out there, that you haven't really ever done before, right? And so I remember January 15th, 2009, standing in front of an audience of 200 people and declaring and showing a business plan for how I wanted to take my very first company and take it to $1 billion status. And of the people in the room that day, I remember there was a moment where I was holding up the first dollar bill that my father had made when he came to America. He had saved that on his wall, and my father's still alive today, but I requested that of him years ago. That I wanted, that for me it was precious, because I could feel the energy of what it meant to my father. And I motivated the people that were there, I inspired them, I felt inspired, and people chose that day to start investing in our company so that it could grow and really move forward into becoming something really great. So the first step is you gotta make a decision, decide what you want. For example, I know people that'll say, well, I don't wanna be a millionaire or anything. Well, actually, do you know how small amount of money $1 million is? You do want to be a millionaire. Why? Because when retirement comes, that's a modest amount of money. 10% on $1 million is $100,000 a year, which I get it. That's above, that's double than what the average person in America makes. The combined household income is around $80,000, so you're even outpacing that. But it means in retirement, you're gonna have some increased healthcare costs. You wanna be able to travel, do something. So you gotta get to grips with what you want. Now, by the way, the decision can't be, I wanna have money. The decision can't be, I wanna get wealthy or I wanna have lots of money. You need to get empirical. You gotta get specific. What is the amount of money that you do? Like, I remember when I had never made 6 figures before, it's like, I wanna make 6 figures. That year I did not make it. But a couple years in, I did. So whatever you declare today, you don't know exactly when you're gonna get it. The first step though is you need to decide that you want it. And you gotta settle on a number that is your no matter what number, which means don't back down, you're gonna stick with it no matter what. Okay, here's number 2. You gotta learn how to think wealthy thoughts, right? Whether you wanna be a millionaire, a billionaire, a trillionaire, whatever that looks like to you, thinking wealthy thoughts for me is a daily meditation that I do every morning. I believe that when I allow myself to meditate and in my mind actively project myself into the future, possessing everything that I desire as if it's already happened, it becomes a very emotional experience. And I'm training my brain that this is the life that I've created. I'm training my brain that this is good, that this is okay, that this is what's desired and wanted. And I'm actually just time warping. I'm spending time actually in that space, even though it technically hasn't happened yet. You're capable of achieving and doing everything first in your mind before you ever do in the real world. And frankly, it's not gonna happen in the real world till you do it enough here in your brain. So number 2 is think wealthy thoughts. Now let me go just a little deeper on this for a second. I'm inviting you to actually sit down and get into a quiet place where you'll be undisturbed, where you can have this active meditation. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and be exhaling through your mouth slowly as you allow all of your lungs to fill. After you've taken a few deep breaths, you'll notice that there's a great calmness and peace that comes over you. The blank slate is now empty because you've emptied your thoughts, and it's time now to start thinking. What is it with me as a billionaire? What does that look like? Who am I with? What am I doing? How does it feel? This needs to be an emotional experience for you. This is not a logical process. This is an emotional experience. Why? Because emotions is what actually activates the serotonin in the brain, which says, uh-oh, having new thoughts and ideas, unconscious can't tell the difference between the past, present, future, and you're literally programming in your brain and your subconscious as if what you're experiencing is real, because your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference. Think about any time you've ever woken up from a scary dream that you thought was real, and then you woke up and realized that it wasn't. Your brain is powerful to believe all sorts of things. And this active meditation that I've just described is how it works. Now, how you know that you're doing it right? Did it produce a tear? Are you smiling? Do you feel intense amounts of joy or peace? If you're not feeling a maximum level of positive emotion, then you're just not there yet. So you stick with this and you do this every single day. Yes, I'm saying that how you become more, how you achieve more, how you do more, comes down to the time when it looks like you're doing nothing. Here's a third step: inspired action. Once you've made the decision, daily action is going to be required to grow financially in any capacity. So even though 2009, January 15th, I made the declaration of building a billion-dollar company, and me in my mind and in my heart, I'm a billionaire, that thought has been with me now for the last several years, and it hasn't gone away. It's something I hearken to, and what I've been doing since then is every day is an opportunity to take inspired action. Now, inspired is staying in that grounded space and allowing yourself to go to your intuition, not always what makes the most logical sense. And most important is you got to take action. It's not just sitting on your butt meditating. Now you got to get up and go do something about it. And if you're inspired to do something today, don't end the day until you finish doing it. Here's the fourth and final part. You need a mentor. We become the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Who are you spending time with? Let me talk about me for a second. So I hang out with a number of individuals. Some of them are multi-millionaires. Not all of them are, because some of them have different value to create for me that's non-monetary. But I'm hanging around exceptional, extraordinary individuals. These are individuals at one point or another I sat and paid money to be in their seminar. It's other individuals that I've made through successful connections. And there's an individual right now in my life that I've been spending a lot of time with, he's a good, solid human being. He's done some extraordinary and exceptional feats. And the more time I spend with him, I like who I am, I like who I'm becoming, and I like what I'm learning. It's a really beautiful experience. A mentor is more than just a friend, however. A mentor is an individual who has been where you want to be and they know how to get there. I'll admit right now, I don't have any active billionaires that are mentoring me, but I have multimillionaires that are. In fact, I'm going to an event in 2 weeks in Florida to spend an entire week with one of my top business mentors who's done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars worth of business. He's been one of my biggest and brightest mentors, and I'm going to be spending an entire week with him as we're actually talking through new business ideas and what we're creating and doing. And these ideas already are slated at doing potentially over $10 million this year, which could give a company valuation of $50 million. Now, is that a part of $1 billion? Yeah, it is a part of $1 billion. Is it progress? It's progress. Is it moving in that direction? It is. So I want to share this idea that if we become who we hang out with, beyond just casual friendships, which you should evaluate, take inventory of who your mentors are, who you're learning with, and make sure that you've put yourself with them in deep karmic debt. What that means is you're doing so much good, you're paying so much forward, and you've probably paid this mentor. And the more you pay them, the more that you can expect back, right? People that are out there being cheap when it comes to the mentoring or going only for the free mentoring, let me just say, you will get in life what you pay for. And if you want to achieve a high level of success, then you're gonna have to sacrifice. You're gonna have to sacrifice time, you're gonna have to sacrifice some of the other things that you might wanna do otherwise, and you're gonna have to sacrifice effort, and you're gonna have to sacrifice some money. That's the bottom line. Now, whether you're starting with nothing and you got these great aspirations, you've got something to sacrifice. And for some of you, $1,000 is gonna hurt. And for some of you, it's gotta be $1 million, and that's what's gonna make it happen. I'm working with a woman right now that I've been mentoring. And as I've been working with her, she paid $250,000 to mentor with me. And her goal this year was to make $100 million. 9 months into our 12-month arrangement, she hit her $100 million. She paid a lot more, but guess what? She got a lot more. So the math always works out a little bit different, but in general, you are absolutely gonna get out what you put in. So here's the 4 steps. If you wanna become a billionaire, listen, don't take it from me because I am one, because I'm not. Take it from me because I've seen progress, I'm on my journey, and whatever your goal is, here are the 4 steps. Number 1, make the decision exactly what it is you're creating, and be committed to that decision, whether it takes a decade, a lifetime, or 6 months. Number 2, think wealthy thoughts. Do your morning meditation where you actually allow yourself to get into an emotional space to see yourself projected in the future in today with everything that you desire. The next step is you gotta be willing to act on it every day. Take inspired action. And the bigger the goal, the more action you need to take, right? And then the last step, mentors. Be with men and women who are at a level that you deeply respect. They're beyond where you're at. They're in the direction where you want to go, and they can show you how to get there. Friends, these are the 4 videos I want to share on what you can do to become a millionaire. So I'm not a billionaire, but I can tell you that we can put our heads together and we can help each other get more out of life. If you want to partner with me, work with me, have my team serve you and help you build your portfolio, click the link up here and learn some of your options of how we can play together. And otherwise, make sure that you're a subscriber so that you can ring the bell and have me share more of these videos coming your way tomorrow.